Hey guys, today is June the 24th. I did end up coming out last night after the rain, but I didn't video anything because that was a pretty long video already for yesterday. I come out and I did what I call maintenance on my garden, and where you just go back and you look and make sure no weeds are choking anything out. So I just pull weeds around everything. And then I was looking at my peas and noticed a lot of my peas, the tops have been taken out of them. So that can be discouraging from a gardener's point of view, because you work hard on it and then it's gone. So I told Hank about it. He said, well, are you able to plant more? I said, yeah, I can, but then it would be gone again. So I need to solve the problem. And I believe it was that rabbit a few days back that maybe King was chasing. So I went over there to look at the hole, and it's a huge hole underneath the fence line. And they have gravel on the other side, and I had like little bitty gravel or something on this side a little bit, but they had dug through that and made a hole. You could see where they was coming through, coming over here, eating the tops of my plants. So I asked Hank, I said, are we able to get some of that rabbit wire, that we could wrap the whole garden in? He said, yeah, let me look at the price. A little steep. It's like $50 for 50 feet. Well, I've got 60 feet. So I'd have to buy 2 rows of it, and I'd have some extra, which is another $100. Do I have $100? No, I don't have $100. So I got to thinking, I said, well, what about one of those fence planks back here? I might just wedge it over there underneath the fence line. He said, yeah, that should work. Because I said brick at first, but I don't have no brick. And then I got to thinking of what I actually had. So I'll show you guys over here with me. See if they dug any more. Look at these pumpkins. I mean, I don't know if I got pumpkins or not, but the vine is just beautiful. And there's some ants in that, bees in that one. But they're just open and beautiful. Okay. Over here at the fence line, let's take a look. It was behind these tires, which are full of water that mosquitoes love. I'm just gonna see. I don't see a hole under there. I've got this pipe. We've got some stuff just laying around here, so I'll put the pipe up there against it. There's the board. Did I cut a groove in and put more of that gravel? Actually, I think it was used cat litter, the old cat litter that's just clay that I used to buy when they was kittens, but now I do that other kind of. Oh, looky there. They're coming through that now. I knew they'd find another place. All right. Now I gotta figure something out about that, which I have these little tires here that can probably wedge right there. Let's get you stood up here, because they know it's all here, and they're gonna keep coming. That's just what they do. They're gonna keep on. know it's here. When they're hungry, they'll do whatever they can to get to it. So. Move these tires back over here. So that seems to stay over there. Now, I might have a little brick. I do. Fits nicely right there. Alright. Now I got that hole covered. So what I'm going to do is keep coming out, seeing if they find any more holes. Get them plugged up before I start replanting. So I don't want all my hard work to go to waste. Checking over here, it don't look like anything's coming through here, you know. Not yet anyway. Alright. That's what all we done yesterday. We finished planting green beans and corn. I'm losing my breath this morning. All right. I'll go ahead and give you guys a walkthrough of what I have. And I'm going to take my key here so I don't have to guess what it is. Alright, so I have, as soon as I walk in this gate, I've got a row of tomato cages all the way down. So I have 2 cherry tomatoes. And I've got a Rutger tomato, heirloom variety, Rutger tomato. 2 of those. I saved some seeds last year. I don't know if y'all can see it. And yeah, saved some seeds last year, and they was Roma tomatoes or Better Boy tomatoes that come from Walmart. So I have a Roma Better Boy mix is what I call it, because I don't know what it's going to be. So I have 2 of those. 1, 2. I'm sorry, the other 2 after the cherries were Roma. These are the Rutgers. There's 2 Rutgers. They're big and beautiful. Then I have a pink tomato right here that I saved from my brother-in-law's garden and started from seed. So I got that one. Since it rained, this stuff's really coming in on them tomatoes, but the tomatoes are tall enough, they should be fine. Then I have Ace 55 heirloom variety. There's one here and there's one over there. Look at this poke that just came up overnight. A lot of people eat that. I'm not sure how to eat it yet, so I'm just knocking it down so it don't get too big. Of course, there are green beans and corn, which you all seen recently, so I'm not going to go over that. Down through here, I've got peas right here, right there, all down and in behind these potatoes. I got all kinds of potatoes. You can see all the way down through there. I have Harvest Blend tomatoes, Golden Rush potatoes, and I have red potatoes all in here. The peas are Burpee Organic Cascadia peas. They're organic. And then the peas, I think these are still Burpee over here. And some of these down here are little Marvel peas. Heirloom varieties. Here's a volunteer tomato. There's a volunteer tomato. And you can tell I've lost some peas. And see if I can find one. Yeah, see, they're chewing on my peas here that I don't think they're going to grow anymore. I don't know. And see, I got some blooms on these. That one's gone out of the top, so it won't grow. That one's gone out of the top. And see where these are not growing, they're growing. That one's gone. You see what I'm saying though? Gone, gone. These, that one, they're catching all of them down through here. Piece of grass I don't want growing. So, like I said, I'm gonna nip that in the bud and have no more rabbits in here. Then I ended up planting more potatoes this direction for the rest of them. I have 15 more Golden Rush, I think, over here. And then what really got me upset is they started eating my cabbage. Push the button. They started eating my cabbage down here. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Right here is my cabbage. So they ate the top out of that. I've also found another volunteer tomato last night when I was weeding. Here's another tomato I found, and then there's more cabbage that they ate off, but it looks like it might keep growing. I don't know, we'll see. The cabbage really liked the rain yesterday. Trash. There's another cabbage. Okay, this right here is supposed to be a cabbage and it's gone, so we might end up transplanting that one, or planting that one. This is a broccoli. That looks good. I thought it wasn't going to keep coming because it only had like one little leaf, but I thought, you can do it. There's another broccoli. Yay, it's coming up overnight. It's amazing what all they do. This one is a Brussels sprout that's gone, so I need to redo that one. And I should have 3 cucumber vines coming up. I planted 3 seeds, but I see 1 coming up. So I might plant 2 more just to have enough cucumbers for me, for salad. We like pickles, and I have a lot of pickles still. And I have a lot of relish still. And then I've got some, like my stepmama, she likes cucumbers. My grandmother, she likes cucumbers. So I've got a few people I can give to. A few videos back, maybe, I had a whole wall of cucumbers over on that side. And they go crazy. All right, excuse me. So after planting all the edge, this was my first bed, so I named it bed number 1. And as you can see, I've got onions. I've got purple and yellow onions in this bed. And down here I had marigolds planted, and on the other end too. But I don't see any sign of them or anything. I'm not sure what they look like when they first come up. And down each side of this bed I've had lettuce and carrots. Lettuce was every 12 foot, carrots was just sprinkled. So we'll see. Right now I don't see anything coming up on either side. Down the middle of this bed though, I had peppers planted, and I only see one pepper. That's one, there's two. The third one down, you can see a little pepper coming up. I might have to replant all the other peppers. This one with my peach tree, that's the apple tree by the way. My peach tree has bed number 2. And I had, after planting all those tomatoes over there, I had a whole lot of tomatoes left that come up. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go and just divide it up. So I have the same tomatoes just kind of scattered through here, but I picked the biggest, healthiest tomatoes to plant. So I have, looks like one Roma, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the cherries. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Ace 55s up in here. Got 2 pink tomatoes in here. And 3 Rutgers, looks like. But I did have to transplant a tomato last night. One tomato was completely gone, and that has to be wrote down on my paper here. This one here was completely gone. So I put in, I believe it was I put in a Rutger there. What was on here? An Ace 55. So I need to change that to a Rutger. And I will. And this pink tomato is looking pretty sad. I might have to end up replacing that one too. I still have some more tomatoes in there still. But I think they're all cherry and Romas. So if I need to transplant one, I will. And then once they get really big and about to die, I might just stick them in this line somewhere with their friends. I hate to lose them all, you know. The Lord gave them to me and I don't really want to lose them. So I'll do something with all them tomatoes. You'd be wondering, what are you doing with them? Well, last year I was overran with tomatoes, okay? I didn't pull the suckers. I just let them go. I was trying to make trees. You could go back and look at my videos from last year, trying to take a tomato cage and stack on top of it and zip tie it and see how tall I could get them. Well, once they hit a certain point, because the tomatoes were heavier than the cages, which I should have known, but it was a experiment. All those tomato cages fell over. One good wind just blew them over. So that didn't work as planned. And so when they blowed over, it didn't matter. They still kept growing. So I'd have some good tomatoes and I'd have some rotten tomatoes. And I'd take the rotten ones and feed them to the trees, is what I called it. And that's why I have volunteers that come up around the trees. The rotten ones just come up on their own. And then picked as many tomatoes as I could and brought them in the house while they was green and let them ripen. Once they ripened, I didn't even have time to get them preserved. So I just put a message on Facebook, hey, do you know anybody that would want some tomatoes? I have boxes of tomatoes and I put a price on them, I think fairly cheap. And I said organic, no chemicals, just God's good rain and soil. And boy, did I have a good reply on that. Now that brought me $80 that I remember. And I think it was $20 a box. Might have had anywhere between 30 to 40 tomatoes per box. So that was a pretty good deal. For organic anyway. And they took them and canned them, and now they have food. So that made me feel good on the inside. Felt, you know, after I couldn't get them all preserved, didn't have enough jars, or I didn't have enough time, or I didn't get to it before they started rotting fast enough, all that jazz. So needless to say, my composter had a bunch of rotten tomatoes in it. And we can tell because I bring out my compost before it's completely composted. In my wagon, you can tell it's not completely composted. It's more eggshells. But there's tomatoes. Tomatoes growing in my compost. So, anywho, I'm blessed with tomatoes. And it may bless me again this year if I don't get it all preserved. Somebody will eat them. I got, like I said, my mother-in-law, my dad, my mama, they all love tomatoes. I like tomatoes in salad, and I'm starting to eat more salad and stuff. And then, of course, we like juice, sauce. You can make marinara, which I did find a good recipe that I did last year. It happened to be more of a marinara sauce than a spaghetti sauce. But I'll find a good spaghetti sauce recipe because we like spaghetti too, or lasagna. I use spaghetti sauce for lasagna. So, tomatoes will not go to waste. I've got onions planted on each side of each of these tomatoes. And down the middle I think I have all yellow, and I've got half yellow, and it starts white tomato or onions. And then down this middle I've got lettuce and carrots planted there. Again, I don't see any starts on that yet. And I believe I even had marigolds down on this end and that end too. Here's bed number 3. I've got all of that. I don't think I had videos for this year. I don't know why I didn't video. I plumb forgot about it. Busy. It was noisy out here with the cicadas. All that stuff, you know. So this is the bed that I started updating you guys on. And you can go back and look at those videos. But in a nutshell, I have tomatoes down through here. Leftover tomatoes, even that didn't fit in there. So those are more like, well, it's a few of each down through here. And then I have lettuce and carrots again down through this way. And I've got onions in between each tomato plant. Those would be white onions. Now this is leftover again from last winter. We saw these bloom up and then they fell over. And I was excited to see if these actually turn into good seed or not. But they haven't done that yet. But this is drying out real well. Those yellow onions over there look humongous. And that one looks like 2. So I don't even know how that would taste or anything, but I'd like to try it and see if it's something we can eat, edible. This here's my creek pecan tree. And then we have our pathway here with our green beans in bed number 4 and corn in bed number 4. But in bed number 3, I have a space between these volunteer tomatoes, which is probably Roma or Better Boy. That's all I had last year. I have a space in between here. So what I'd like to do today is fill this space in with spinach. I see another morning glory. I got these growing everywhere. The morning glories are beautiful flowers, And they're great trellis plants and stuff, but for in the garden, they would come up and choke everything out. They're a big vining plant, and I really don't want them to be choked. It'd be pretty if I had a trellis just to train them, but see, this is just a short morning glory. They climbed up this tree last year and everything. And here's another morning glory, a different kind. They're beautiful, pretty greenery, but like I said, I don't really want them in my garden choking all the plants out. And this stuff here is dandelion. I'm just leaving it. Okay, whew. It's already hot. It's gonna be another hot day today. I think they said the heat index will be like 106. Yeah, silly, crazy. And I know my phone can't be out in the heat, or it'll shut off. Like I said yesterday, I could die in the heat. My body don't tell me to shut off. I've got a little bit of shade over here under this onion. Let's put you all there. Then I'll put this back in my book, grab my spinach seeds, cut them open, and my little shovel too, because I'll need to dig a little. There you go. Perfect in the little onion shade. Never thought I would be shady with the onion. Okay, so these are Bloomsdale long-standing spinach, and they are supposed to be 4 inches apart. So I'm probably going to give about 1 foot away from those onions. I'll put it down the middle of this bed here. I'm gonna give about 1 foot from these onions. Make a mark here. Let's see how many plants this will give me on spinach. That would be 1, 2, excuse me, 3, 4, 5. We don't eat a whole lot of spinach. I like it sporadic in my salad with lettuce, and I like spinach like cut up in my eggs sometimes. It's a good way to have spinach. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 18. 4, 8, 12, 16. I knew something. I'm not counting correctly here. This ain't even sticking in the ground. Crazy. Get in there. I'm already hot, y'all. Must be something there. Just stopping everything. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Come on now. $24. 6, 7. That's quite a bit of spinach. I might just leave it at that. 7's a good number. Means completion. Now it's 10 o'clock. Can you see what they look like? Whoa, that was about, I don't know how many. I think that's 3 in that one spot. 3 there. Oh, come on. What's wrong with you? There's one. Couple. There we go. I got 7 spots with a few seeds. How's that? Tamp it down a little bit just so they don't go nowhere. Might be too deep too, I don't know. Should have looked at that. Break up some of this mulch on top there to help hold some moisture. There we go. All right, so I've got 7 spinach. I'm just imagining a bunch of tomatoes over here. So I may just leave this empty here. Phew. Already sweat rolling. So I will record this in my book when I get in. Get that taped up. Whew. The next thing would be, I'd like to get, it might be a little late to plant sunflowers, but I was thinking sunflowers along that fence right there, from the chain link gate all the way down to this tomato here. Get these sunflowers out. Get them cut. I decided to put all the seeds that I have planted in my garden in this little container so I know where they're at to transplant them or add more or whatever I choose to do. I'm gonna write on my cheat sheet real quick so I don't forget. Whoa. 7 spinach, a foot away, starting here and down 7 of them, 4 inches apart. All right. I don't know, guys. I might have to cut this day short. Sweating. I had my breakfast before I come out. Good old egg and sausage and cheese sandwich is what I had. Pretty darn good. These are a 6 to 12 inch spacing on sunflowers. Alright, this right here looks like too much work on the cardboard side. So where this is blank, I'm going to put some sunflowers there. Yeah, I've got sweat rolling pretty bad. Get all this plucked out. Piece of glass. Gotta be careful when you're digging in the dirt with your hands. You never know what you find. That glass ain't from me. And we've been here about 18 years. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Good enough for me. You can tell I'm hot, y'all. I'm awful quiet. 6 inches apart. Plop some seed there. 12 inches. Plop a seed here. 18. So we might have us 3 sunflowers here, maybe. 18. 24. I'll try it, but it's around this concrete. I don't know if it'll grow or not. Get off me, ant. Thank you. Alright, sunflowers. Let's put 2 in each hole just in case one don't do. This is the Mammoth Gray stripe, whatever that is. All right. I didn't put no markers out here, did I? Give a little pat. I'm gonna get 4 markers real quick. Oh, look. There's a morning glory flower. See how pretty they are? I have all different colors. Last year I had white and I had blues and purples. And then that's like a pink color. It's pretty. I planted 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Whew. I could be still dehydrated from yesterday too, guys. Gotta drink plenty of fluid. I drank a bunch, but I don't know if it was enough, you know? You don't know how much you sweat. Oh, there's some air. Thank you, Lord, for that breeze. Now, we will just sit and wait and see if sunflowers come up. And then I'll write that in my book as well in the house. Today is laundry day anyway. Running out of laundry. I am old fashioned on my laundry. I wash them in the washer and then I hang them up on the clothesline. Saves on the electric bill. That's for sure. Alright, we'll set that down in there. I'll go on and take the seeds in because it's going to be hot. I don't want that to do anything. Alright guys, I'm going to put all this away. And I'm not sure if I'll come out this evening or not. Might be tomorrow. But we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Hit like. Share these videos if you like them. If you want to spread the word that, hey, this person's just like you. We take 20-30 minutes a day, sometimes an hour, just whatever time you can get. And you can do it because I'm doing it. Subscribe to my channel to not miss any other videos that are posted. You'll get a notification when I post another video. If you like seeing these updates, let me know in the comments. If you got any questions, I'll try to get to them and answer them as quick as I can, all right? We'll talk to you next time, guys. Bye.